As a person who has experienced a near death experience, NDE, I think that in the last nearly 12 years since I did nearly die, I've come to realize that my life has been something of a rebirth, just like a phoenix rising from the ashes, and I've been working diligently to establish myself as a writer since. The reason why I began writing, to begin with, was a healing exercise for myself from lots of trauma and pain and feeling like I had no other way to express the turmoil that was raging inside of me. However, I do have to say that when I had my NDE, the serenity, so to speak, that washed over me while I was in that dimension was unlike anything I've ever felt in my life before. I'm confident I will never feel it again in this life that we are living in, and there was a time when I was really afraid of dying before this incident. Even the scenario that was given to me and presented before me was that I might not make it through childbirth with my youngest son, and I knew from the moment that I conceived him that it was going to be a high risk pregnancy that would place both of our lives on the line, which is exactly what happened. Yet before that point, I was just a blogger and I wrote short snippets, poems, and short stories of many different sorts. I had been doing that for ages. I actually began writing for the first time at the age of 5, but I was creating stories long before that, especially when I was a little girl. But it was only after my NDE that I began to evolve to recognize my potential. I have changed my life in a complete 360 from what it was before I decided to go after my writing career, which was when my son was 11 months of age. As I sit here now reflecting on this, I have in the last 5 months lost one of the most important people in my life, which was my dad. And yet, despite that grief, I've come to realize how much life matters, how much of a gift it is, and I went from being this very anxious, worrisome person who felt like I had no value to the world to becoming a person that I was proud of and could respect. Someone I admire to the point that I live my life now with no worry about when I'm going to expire, because ultimately we all inevitably will. So I've chosen to live my life like today is the biggest gift because it is, and every moment that I have that I'm able to share something that will inspire, educate, or entertain a person and impact their life in a positive way that will lend to them recognizing their own potential and significance, then I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. I work actively every day to live my life in a way where I'm being the change that I want to see, but I often reflect on the fact that people who don't believe in the law of attraction, the secrets of the universe, or there being more than they perceive are often the ones that are manifesting the saddest and most difficult lives. And that's not to say that even those who know about the power of manifestation do not experience their own traumas or situations. Once you discover your own self worth, when you innately look inside yourself and come to love who you are and everything about what you can do, you will evolve to grow into the person you were always meant to be. For some of us, it takes a really tragic thing to happen before we awake to this truth. For me, it took nearly dying and needing 25 blood transfusions and an emergency hysterectomy, but for other people, it might be a life altering car accident. It might be the worst possible nightmare that you can ever imagine, and that moment is going to put you face to face with your shadow side. And once you are face to face with your shadow side, that's when you have the choice to take control over it, to reparent your inner workings, and to find the core of your soul so that you can heal. Once you do that, the empowerment that comes from it is truly one of the most beautiful things. If I could just give that pearl of wisdom wrapped up with a shiny bow to every person I meet and actually have them apply it to their life, I would, because it's the thing that would really change this world.